In a gripping television interview, Dr. Crippen, portrayed by the acclaimed Emma Thompson, unveils her groundbreaking achievement, a revolutionary genetic modification of the measles virus tailored to target cancer cells. With conviction, she shares the remarkable success stories of patients who have triumphed over cancer thanks to her pioneering treatment. Fast forward 3 years, and the scene reveals a hauntingly transformed New York City. Once a bustling metropolis, it now stands deserted and desolate, a ghostly shell of its former self. Nature has reclaimed the urban landscape, with grass overtaking roads and buildings, while abandoned cars line the eerily quiet highways. The silence hangs heavy in the air, signaling a world devoid of human life. It appears as though the apocalypse has descended upon the city, leaving behind only the echoes of a once thriving civilization. Will Smith plays Robert Neville, who drives around the empty city with his dog, Sam. They see some deer and chase them. Robert tries to shoot them but fails. He then follows them on foot. As he's about to shoot one, a lion shows up and catches the deer first. Robert has to decide whether to shoot the lion and its family or leave them be. Suddenly, his watch alarm rings, reminding him it's time to go home. Back at his house, Robert and Sam have a normal evening. They eat food from packages and watch TV, but their house looks damaged, like it's been in a war. Robert locks all the doors and windows with strong metal covers. They sleep in the bathtub, with Robert holding a gun, while scary sounds come from outside. In a poignant dream sequence, Will Smith's character, Robert Neville, envisions a bittersweet memory of his family's attempt to leave New York City. He sees himself dressed in military attire, grappling with the weighty decision to remain behind alone. As his wife Zoe, their young daughter Marley, portrayed by Willow Smith, and a youthful Sam as a puppy, prepare to depart, Robert solemnly resolves to stay in the city to confront the viral outbreak, drawing on his background as a military doctor. In an effort to shield Marley from the grim reality, they reassure her that they are simply embarking on a holiday. The tender moment is abruptly shattered as Neville awakens to the harsh reality of his solitary existence, the dream fading away like a fleeting mirage. In his heavily guarded home, Robert Earl they inhabit, and it works on a cure for a deadly virus. In his basement lab, he tests different vaccines on mice. Most make the mice aggressive, but one doesn't. He notes down the successful compound and decides to try it on humans, hopeful it could be the cure. Robert frequents a video rental store, where he engages with mannequins he has arranged, his solitary attempt to maintain a semblance of human interaction. It's apparent he's devised this game to stave off the encroaching madness of isolation. Venturing further, he explores nearby condo flats, scavenging for essentials. In one room, he encounters a bed shrouded in plastic wrap, a poignant reminder of lives lost. In another, 2 cribs stand silently, evoking a deep sense of empathy and sorrow in Robert's eyes as he contemplates the void left by loved ones. Later, a radio broadcast by Neville, echoing across AM frequencies, reverberates through the desolate landscape. Neville's message, declaring his survival and extending an invitation to other survivors, becomes a beacon of hope in the darkness of solitude. As they spot a deer, Robert and his faithful companion Sam pursue it into an old, dilapidated building. Despite Robert's attempts to restrain Sam, the dog charges ahead, compelling Robert to follow. With cautious steps, Robert navigates through the shadowy corridors, eventually stumbling upon the lifeless body of the deer and Sam, cowering beneath an ancient desk. Suddenly, an infected assailant lunges from the darkness, prompting Robert to react swiftly, dispatching the threat with a well-aimed shot. As more infected emerge, Robert and Sam flee through the labyrinthine building, engaged in a harrowing battle for survival. Though outnumbered, Robert valiantly holds his ground, ensuring both he and Sam emerge unscathed. Among the pursuing infected, Dash Mihawk, their leader, is hindered by the searing touch of sunlight, unable to pursue them beyond the safety of darkness. His frustrated cries echo as Robert and Sam make their escape. Back at his laboratory, Robert engineers a trap to ensnare one of the infected. His plan succeeds, and he transports the captured female infected, Joanna Numata, to his makeshift research facility. Despite his hopes pinned on the vaccine that showed promise with the mouse, his efforts falter as Joanna's condition worsens, her vital signs plummeting. Acting swiftly, Robert administers an adrenaline shot, reviving Joanna from the brink of death. Undeterred, he persists in refining habit, driven by the unwavering determination to unlock the elusive cure that could save humanity from the brink of extinction. During the night, Robert is once again plagued by memories of the past, a time when his wife and child attempted to flee the chaos engulfing New York City. He vividly recalls the pandemonium in the streets as citizens scrambled to escape the impending threat of the infected. As the memories flood his mind, Robert's face reflects deep sadness and regret. The anguish of those moments weighs heavily upon him, leaving an indelible mark of sorrow etched upon his feature. With a somber sigh, Robert awakens from his troubled sleep, grappling with the lingering ghosts of his past and the profound sense of loss that continues to haunt him. The next morning, he remembers it's his birthday. When he goes to the video store, he finds his mannequins have been moved. During the night, the infected have set the same trap he organized for them the previous day. Neville is caught by the trap and passes out. When he wakes up, he is badly hurt, hanging upside down and bleeding. Sam is faithfully waiting for him. He cuts himself free finally, just as dusk falls, but he falls on his knife and impales his leg. The infected leader then appears with infected dogs who attack Robert, but Sam defends him, who succeeds in crawling back to his car to retrieve a pistol, shooting the infected dogs dead. He looks over to see Sam collapse from a bite wound and picks her up and lays her in the car. When he gets home, he puts Sam on a table and injects her with an experimental vaccine. The vaccine fails in helping Sam as Neville realizes her hair begins to fall out and she attempts to bite him, so he is forced to kill her by strangling her as she struggles in his arms. Tears stream down his cheeks as he says goodbye to his only friend. He then goes and buries her in the streets. Just rewrite this in your words. In a whirlwind of grief and fury, Robert resolves to confront the infected head-on. He drives his SUV at breakneck speed into the throngs of infected that roam the desolate streets at night. His reckless rampage carries him perilously close to the edge of the pier, where he ultimately loses control, crashing his vehicle as the infected swarm around him, just as death seemed imminent. A sudden burst of light envelops Robert, and he succumbs to unconsciousness. In his unconscious state, memories of his past haunt him once again, this time recalling the tragic fate of his wife and child's escape attempt from New York. He awakens in his home to the sound of Shrek playing on the TV, finding himself stitched up from his wound. Standing before him are Anna and her son Ethan, who responded to his radio distress call. Anna proposes a plan to flee to a colony of immune survivors in Vermont, but Robert, still reeling from his loss, adamantly refuses, doubting the existence of such a sanctuary and preferring solitude. As night falls, Robert becomes aware of the infected launching an assault on the house. Their relentless pursuit, stemming from Anna's rescue of Robert the previous night, overwhelms even the robust defenses of his home. Despite their best efforts, the sheer volume of infected forces breaches the fortified shutters, forcing Robert, Anna, and Ethan to seek refuge in the basement. In the chaos of the battle, Robert notices a significant development. The infected woman he had previously captured and tested with the virus vaccine has reverted to her human state. Swiftly seizing the opportunity, he extracts a sample of her blood with a syringe and hands it to Anna, instructing her to escape through a small trapdoor with Ethan. Meanwhile, Robert resolves to stay behind, determined to stall the infected horde and eliminate as many as possible. With a final act of defiance, he detonates explosives, engulfing himself and the relentless alpha male in a blaze of destruction. Upon reaching a remote countryside location, Anna and Ethan encounter an enigmatic sight, a towering castle-like wall and a formidable steel door blocking the road. Beyond it lies a small community of human survivors, enclosed within this fortress-like structure. Anna presents the syringe containing the antidote to the leader of this enclave, entrusting them with the potential salvation it holds. In her somber voiceover, Anna reflects on the legend that Robert Neville has become, his bravery and sacrifice echoing through the desolate world they inhabit.